So those are top stories. Two experts this afternoon, Mayuresh Joshi and Prakash Gaba, with us to answer the queries that are coming in. And also it's Friday, so that means it's ladies special. So the two gentlemen will be answering all the queries that our women viewers are sending us. So first up...
Samara, before we get to that, Mayuresh as well as with us. Mayuresh, fundamentally, Deven told us nothing's really gone wrong. Your take on the fundamentals of the market, and also anything is looking good or at some level will look good?
So Nigel, again, I think I totally concur with what Deven and Anuj were saying at this point of time. I think with all the concerns and sentiments becoming so sour, I think the natural sell-off that you're probably seeing in the markets gets accentuated. So I think the natural drift that is probably happening in terms of where people are sitting on money or where they are making profits in qualitative names, even those are probably getting sold up in this carnage, and that has nothing to do in terms of what or how the fundamentals are poised. So if one probably talks about corporate earnings, they're expected to grow at a very decent clip going forward. Yes, the other variables probably not in favor, but I think the markets are cognizant of that fact. So I would tend to agree that the excesses are probably getting flushed out. I think quality names which have corrected do give an opportunity to get invested in a staggered way. But again, I think investors should be a little bit more cautious. I think they should just ensure that the markets and the mayhem plays out over the next few days and weeks. But qualitative names in the banking space, HDFC Bank, you've got HDFC, you've got Bajaj Finance within the NBFC universe, you've got some names within the pharma space, something like an Oro Pharma, Biocon, or even within the auto universe itself. I think there might be some short-term pain, but quality and earnings will stand out over the medium to long term. So yes, I think wait for those declines, stagger your investments through over the next few weeks, and I'm pretty sure if you have the patience and you're willing to hold on, you'll make reasonable money over the medium term.
Mayuresh, talking about earnings recovering, the Nifty EPS hasn't grown much in the last 4 years approximately. This was supposed to be the big year in terms of earnings growth. And when we're likely to see that, suddenly the market's going to a bit of a tizzy. And the fear is that the financial space, that could be under some pressure, which will pull down the Nifty EPS growth. What kind of a number are you factoring in terms of a Nifty EPS? We're looking at 20-25% is what most of the street are expecting. Do you think that's doable still, or do you think as we've seen in the last so many years, we're factoring in 10-12% at the start of the year, at the end of the year you're moving with around 2%? Your take on that?
No, obviously, Nigel, I think over the last 3 years, 3.5 years, everybody was expecting the recovery probably to come out in the second half, and it's obviously disappointed. A large element in terms of even the private capex lagging out, I think has been one of the core contributors, because the government capex has always been front-ended, and you've also seen in this fiscal a similar pattern probably coming out. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think in terms of what you're probably seeing at this point of time, in terms of the squeeze of liquidity that the markets are witnessing, and the entire mayhem in terms of the growth prospects that NBFC strokes financials might not be able to deliver as per the market expectations. My own sense is that the gradual earnings recovery will still play out. So I think the second half, where the normal estimates, and you're right, I think is a little bit on the higher side. Even if one moderates that to a 10-12% earnings growth, and that earnings compounding over the next fiscal year because of private capex coming through, utilization levels going up, and the general confidence coming back with credit growth improving, should have a say. So I think earnings should grow at a very decent clip of 10-12%.
Mayuresh, Prakash, thanks very much for joining in and for your time this afternoon. We'll wrap up with the note that the Nifty is down about 0.5%. Closing bell joins in after this quick break to take you through the last hour of trade. Thanks for watching.